How did Mike respond to all these things? Like,
I don't, in hindsight, like, I don't know, I was paying attention enough to care because I
wow.
was so disloyal to him with like other men throughout the whole thing.
Mm.
And he had his own vices. Like, he wasn't perfect, and
He's not perfect?
he's over there. What do you
That's the only
think?
thing I know of him. My
Um,
goodness.
he was he was excited that I was healthy and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he was proud of me for losing weight. I was also like involved in like an MLM pyramid scheme thing. So he was like proud of me for building a business, which it wasn't.
It's almost like when you know somebody that long and you've been intimate in so many different ways, even though you're having trouble, like maybe you weren't even together at the time, but you're still friends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
We loved each other.
Yeah.
And there may have been, we even talked about this, the three of us, there may have been some codependency and like a soul tie there.
sure.
Because we were in the world and, we were in sin when we were together and stuff. But we loved each other and we cared about each other, like
Yeah.
through all of our ups and downs and all these things. So he was proud of me.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like had this attitude when it came to the spiritual stuff, where it was just like, oh, if that makes you feel good, you go for it,
Right.
And we had that same attitude for everything, like LGBT, like
Right.
we knew a trans person. He literally like administered the shot for this trans person we knew. Like, we were just very live and let live, like hippy dippy. I rubbed off on him a little bit, not necessarily like spiritually, but like his style, the way he would dress was kind of like reminiscent of the spirituality I was in. Like, he used to wear psychedelic headbands and like these like really these really elaborate like button up shirts, and but we were also smoking weed, so he had kind of he had his own demons from that too, and doors that we were opening, and we did psychedelics and stuff, so we kind of just like were both there.
Right.
But he wasn't like doing it with me. He just thought it was like, if that's your thing, you go ahead. But then when I came to Jesus, it was like, this is too much. This is too much.
Course.
Yep. It's like the first time in those 10 years I was doing all this stuff where spirituality was
That
too
just
much.
shows you how powerful.
Yep.
Because everything else was cool. Like, you want to do that? Go ahead. Yeah, live and let live. Oh, Jesus comes in the picture.
We lived together when I first got saved, and when I tell you, our house was like decked out in New Age paraphernalia. There was a tapestry on every wall. There were like Buddha heads all over the house. There were crystals on every single surface, like just incense burning constantly, sage burning constantly, like all the New Age stuff everywhere. Like, our house, if you walked into it, it was like one of those like shops, literally.
Right.
And I mean, that was a part of, I actually kind of needed that. And I do think about this a lot, because now my house is a mess 9 times out of 10 because I have a 16-month-old, and chaos and clutter used to like absolutely destroy. I could not manage.
Yeah.
So my house had to look like it wasn't lived in. And the aesthetic of the house was very important to me, because there was like a security I was seeking in that.
Right.
So the way I used to decorate and like, I wasn't into feng shui, but I was very energetically aware of like where I would put the crystals and for what purposes and stuff. Like, I needed to do it like that.
Yeah.
So my house was very intentional, very deliberate in the way that I decorated it and adorned it with the demonic. And so, my point in sharing that is, then I took it all down and I get rid of everything. And he's like, why are you throwing the crystals? He doesn't care about crystals.
Right.
He's like, why are you throwing those away? We can sell them, or we should at least keep that one. It's expensive. And I'm like, you don't care about this stuff. Why are you throwing those away? Like, I'll keep it. I'm like, you don't care about the moon. Why do you want the picture of the moon? And then I put crosses up, and he's like, I don't want my house to look like a church. I'm like, it looked like a pagan temple before, and that was cool.